I am about to tell you about an alleged Australian involvement in what I suspect was a non-human craft retrieval. Because what this Australian military photographer said he was tasked to do was he was picked up by an American Air Force plane in Darwin, flown to a remote southeast jungle location, driven into a deep part of the jungle, and as he described it, there in the jungle was a disc-shaped craft. Under intense supervision, he was told to photograph everything about it, inside and out. He was then told to develop the negatives in front of his American supervisors. He then had to hand over the photographic gear and the camera and the film and make sure that he wasn't taking any with him. He was then warned not to discuss with Australian superiors what he'd done and what he'd seen, and he never did. I was the first person that learned about what had happened. As far as I know, the Australian government has no idea that this Australian serviceman was involved in a retrieval operation. And the interesting thing was, when I first spoke, even tangentially, about this incident, I got phone calls from people I knew in Special Forces in Australia saying I should speak to certain people. And I was introduced to Australian Special Forces soldiers who'd been on secondment to the British SAS in Hereford. And one of them told me he'd been involved in a retrieval in a European country of a craft. There are shocking allegations. If I was to accept what these alleged first-hand witnesses were telling me, there was, and still is, a secret Cold War going on between the Russians, the Chinese, and the Americans to secure what I am told, and I have no way of definitively proving this. This is data. It's the start of an investigation. What I am told are retrieved non-human craft. There are even allegations that we are bringing down these craft offensively, using weapons. And I know that sounds crazy. I'm telling you what I am being told. If these claims are true, then we have acted reprehensibly with a non-human intelligence in our avaricious effort to be the first to secure an advantage with their technology. It's a moral stain on what should be one of the greatest moments in human history, first contact. I can well imagine, and I say if these allegations are true, I can well imagine this awful secret is one that some in government have decided it is best to stay concealed. Now, I know what many of you are probably thinking. This is sci-fi nonsense, silly stories peddled by attention-seeking Walter Mitty's to a credulous and gullible journalist. That's what I thought. I was sceptical. I still don't know whether to believe it. I do fear I'm being fed disinformation, but I've heard now the same story from so many sources, I'm beginning to think it might plausibly have some truth to it.